And next in our lineup is the Galaxy S5, and this one is my least favorite one, and I'll tell you why. This one is in poor condition, but I just think that this was just so cheap looking and cheaply made, and I'm so glad that the S6 made them change everything about it. But let's go ahead and get into the specs of the phone here. So the Galaxy S5 was released in April of 2014. It includes a 5.1 inch screen, up from 5 inches on the S4. It includes a 16 megapixel camera. It includes 2 gigs of RAM and has a Snapdragon 801 processor, and it has 2800 milliamp hour battery. So just a slight bump over the S4. So it has Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, plastic back, and a plastic frame. This is the first S series that had the water and dust resistance IP67. So it has Super AMOLED screen, 5.1 inches, 1080p, so 1920 by 1080. It has a 16:9 aspect ratio with 432 pixels per inch. It came with Android 4.4.2 KitKat and upgradable to Android 6.0 Marshmallow. And this one is upgraded to that. So here, I'll go into the settings here. This example that I have here actually has a really badly burnt in screen. Not sure if that is visible on screen, but it is super badly burnt in. As you can see, they changed the menu system again. Let's see if I can get this. All right, here we go. About device. All right, so there you go, 6.0.1. So in addition to the water and dust resistance, this included kind of a fast charging solution here. I don't have the proper cord for that. And on the back, it also has a heart rate sensor. So I did actually test this previously, and it still works just fine. I tested it against my Apple Watch, and it worked pretty well. So the problems with this phone are kind of numerous. Now, I didn't expect to get a perfect phone, but this one, as you can see, is delaminating from itself up at the top. And I believe that's actually a common problem with these. The cover is missing at the bottom, which would make it dust and water resistance. The back is cracked, broken in multiple places, and they chose to use this kind of rubberized texture on the back, and it feels okay, but it just looks bad. They also use this silver trim around here, which is fake and plastic, and when it scratches, it just looks like absolute garbage. If they would have kept just like the S4, that was okay. It was plastic, but it was kind of matte and not super shiny, and it just looked nicer than the S5. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. So just to show you around the device here, so we have that 5.1 inch screen there. This one is a blue color. You can see here we have the home key. We have our capacitive keys down there. Up at the top here we have the Samsung branding. They changed from the metal look of the earpiece back to the black color, or the color of the device. We have this awful ugly silver trim around the whole frame here. On the back here, we do have our 16 megapixel camera, we have our flash, and we have that heart rate sensor right there. And as you can see, we have the S5 branding as well as the AT&T branding. On the side here, we have our sleep-wake key right there. It's just ugly ridges around it. On the bottom here, we have that micro USB / whatever the hell this is, because it's supposed to be a fast charging thing. On the side, we have a volume rocker right there. On the top, we do have an IR blaster, microphone, and 3.5 millimeter headset jack. So one thing I also forgot to mention on here is this actually has a fingerprint scanner in the home key. And so the home key is pretty recessed, unfortunately, so it's not as nice as it used to be. And they implemented it a little bit differently. So rather than being like the Touch ID button, they want you to swipe your finger on it. So you have to swipe down. And it really isn't the greatest. So I'm glad that they changed that with the S6. So I did also want to show you some performance on the phone. So I'll go ahead and clear everything out here so we can get a better Alright, so I did get a couple of benchmarks here. So I did get the, let's see if I can find it here. I did get the N22 benchmark. And hopefully it keeps my score. So that's the score it gave me here. And there we go. And then it says defeated 2% of users, defeated 0% of users with a GPU, memory defeated 4% of users, and UX defeated 2% of users. Some more specs of the phone there, and different tests that you can perform on here. It was really choppy, and definitely was dropping frames like it, you know, like crazy. And then this was the other test I chose here, which is the 3D mark. And so it says this Galaxy S5 can outperform 60% of phones in this test, which sounds kind of like a long shot, honestly. But I got an 863 on the slingshot. And there's our frames per second and all that good stuff here. Your score versus this model, so 28%. Your score is better than 28% of scores for the Samsung Galaxy S5. Probably because no one has this phone anymore. Versus more popular devices, as you can see, we're here, and this is the Huawei P30, and they just announced the P40, so it's way behind Google Pixel 4, the S10, and these are last year's devices anyway, except for the OnePlus. So there you go. So I will show you its performance with YouTube and a game, just to give you an idea of how well it runs. The UX is not bad. It can handle everything pretty well. Let's go ahead and go into YouTube real quick, and I'll show you, see how it handles it here. So here we are, just scrolling through videos. It does have to load after just a minute there, but the Explore key here. Let me find something that's not a song. Now this one also has a rear-facing speaker, and that's unfortunate.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another video. This week, I'm gonna be destroying every bath bomb from Lush and then reforming them into one single frame.
So it's decent. It's not the greatest. And then going to the comments here. Still a little laggy, but not too bad. All right, so I didn't download the same game as I have downloaded for the past few phone reviews here. So I'm going to use a different one. Let me see if I can find out where it is. Yeah, I downloaded Asphalt 9. So we'll see how well that works. All right, so just hit the play key after entering the information they wanted, and let's see how long it takes to load from here. And just watch this little animation down here. Anyway, so there you go. That's just a quick look at that. And now I'll show you some photos and videos from the camera. Here's a test of the video on the Galaxy S5. And here's a quick test of the front-facing camera on the Galaxy S5. Something else I like to show in the videos is just the included wallpapers with the device, so I'll give you a look at these. So most of these are like abstract kind of wallpapers, but again, they like to use colorful ones that pop out, you know. So out of the phones that I have, out of the Galaxy phones that I have, I do have a Galaxy S4, S5, S6, and S7, and those are all with AT&T. AT&T apparently is notorious for putting garbage all over their phones. So just to show you some more of the garbage that they put on this phone, AT&T Locker, AT&T Mail, AT&T Navigator, AT&T Protect Plus, colored name ID, what else? Device Help, Drive Mode, we've got Mobile TV, their AT&T Messages, My AT&T, Polaris Office, S-Voice, Samsung Health, Secure Family, Usage Manager. They just include a bunch of garbage that is unnecessary, and unfortunately you cannot delete it. Anyway, the Galaxy S5 actually runs pretty well even to this day. I was able to use multiple apps on here, and it runs really well. No performance issues. It does get a little hot when you are using it heavily, but the Snapdragon 801 is still pretty capable even today. So there you go. That is the Galaxy S5.